Hello there, football fans. Welcome to the Mercurial Trequartistas Gamecast. For those of you who've been watching our new channel during the last few weeks, you will know that I'm Dalton and my co-host is Mark. We bring you a special episode this very cold lunchtime as Ruben Amorim of Manchester United has been sacked this morning. By way of summary, Amorim was appointed Manchester United manager in November of 2024 and he lasted only 14 months in charge, despite Sir Jim Ratcliffe's very public backing in March of 25, where he stated he's an excellent manager and I think he will be there for a long time. Amorim has struggled with poor results, strained relationships, and unpopular tactics. I believe that United endured their worst ever Premier League season under him, finishing 15th, losing the Europa League final to Spurs, and they suffered a humiliating cup defeat to League Two Grimsby. Amorim spent about £216 million on signings, but stuck to his favoured 3-4-3 system, and he's only recently changed that, experimenting with different formations. As far as I know, his reign produced the club's lowest win ratio, worst defensive record, and fewest clean sheets of any United manager. Tensions with the board grew as Amorim complained about interference and lack of transfer backing, culminating in his dismissal this morning after a recent 1-1 draw with Leeds. Darren Fletcher, the legendary former United manager and current under-18s coach, has been named interim manager ahead of the Burnley game. Mark, it's quite a shock for everyone. What's your take on it?
Well, it's 5 days into 2026 and it's already quiet, isn't it? I mean, first Maresca, now Amorim. Uh, Amorim went literally full Maresca in his press conference as well. So yeah, it's been eventful. That press conference asked a lot of questions. It pretty much did put the ball in Man United's court, and obviously they decided nope, if you're going to turn around and tell the press, tell the fans that you have no intention of being here beyond your contract, off you pop. So, yeah, the axe has fallen. I thought there was a lot of interesting angles in the post-match comments. The suggestion that he isn't being allowed to manage or oversee everything that he wants to oversee, and that they're managing by committee or making decisions by committee. He found that frustrating. And then the comments about not being afraid of pundits, not being afraid of Gary Neville's. I mean, if he really is suggesting that those hiring him have been making decisions based on pundit views, that's that's quite reactionary. It's quite a scary way to run such a big club. So they're in the territory now where they could do the funniest thing possible and go, fine, we've been going off Gary Neville opinions, let's put him in as manager. But I don't think that'll happen. Uh, yeah, chaotic starts to the season. Well, to the year, and from the sounds of it, it's going to be a caretaker manager between now and the end of the season. So, who's next? Glasner's contract is up at the end of June. Are they going to be in a holding pattern waiting for him, or does the caretaker that come in do such a good job they give him a decision to make? It's all going on now, isn't it?
Absolutely. You raise a very interesting point about the power of pundits at this point, because I think recently, I won't deviate from Man United, but I think both Salah and Slot have commented on Jamie Carragher as well. So it's interesting that people inside the game they are feeling the pressure from pundits, former players. But back to United. I was just reading shortly before starting this shoot that Maresca has been linked with the role. That would be something if he were to step in. I mean, he's certainly available. He's a fine coach. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, again, they've got the perfect lineup here for a job swap, but I don't think Amorim's as high up on the list as Rosini is at Chelsea at the moment. But Maresca is available. He has worked with Pep, so probably knows the area.
Mm.
And it's debatable whether or not the links to Man City possibly harmed his position at Chelsea anyway. So, yeah, it's good, ready-made manager right there for the taking. If they do swoop for Maresca, I mean, it really has been a bizarre few days. But you could see it happening. They wouldn't have to pay any sort of compensation out. He's there free. Why not? And if he
Mm.
does a good job, he's in the mix for the permanent position.
And we were saying in the last episode that we shot that there's not many experienced high-level coaches that can just step into a role as big as this. And consider that if Chelsea want to go for a more experienced coach, United, in effect, they would be competing with Chelsea for said person. Say, even if it's the end of the season, they would be in competition with Chelsea. And it's not just Chelsea. At Liverpool, we are hearing a lot of rumours that the senior management at Anfield, i.e., not Hughes and Edwards, but the individuals based in Boston, they are keen to employ a more experienced coach to take over from Slot. So it just makes it harder for everyone. But let's see, there's the option of Maresca, of course. And on a positive note, I mean, what if, as you say, Darren Fletcher does a sterling job? And that would be amazing for United. I mean, he was one of Fergie's stalwarts. He has a great mentality, certainly as a player. One could see that. Could he be the one to restore United?
I'm not sure he'll be the long-term choice. I think it'd be great for him if he does come in and does a good job. But Van Nistelrooy was in the same position, and he came in as an interim and had a decent record, and they were still keen to get the manager they wanted. I suspect they do have somebody in mind already. Appointing your youth team manager, as far as looks go for the club, I think they'd like to think they're still capable of attracting the big names. I think if you're going for your youth team manager, you're possibly suggesting nobody wants the job, or the offer you're putting on the table isn't enough.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it probably will be a temporary measure for Fletcher,
Hmm.
as it was with Van Nistelrooy. But I'm sure they have somebody in mind.
Yeah. And make no mistake about it, Man U are still one of the biggest and greatest clubs on the planet. I know the levels of success perhaps haven't been as high as they should be at a club like that for the last few years, but any big manager, they would relish the opportunity to try and restore United. Um, yeah.
Yeah, and Amorim's still a decent manager. I mean, he did very well at Sporting Lisbon. The It'll be interesting to see where he goes next. Once you've sort of marketed yourself as an intransigent 3-4-3 advocate and you're not budging no matter what, I'm not sure how marketable you make yourself,
Mhm.
but he's 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 clearly had enough. Whatever went on in the last few days, I think he grew tired of it, and it all came out in that press conference. I think it's been reported that there was some kind of uh, disagreement about Semenyo. The club wanted to buy Semenyo and were wanting to use him as a winger, but Amorim doesn't use wingers. So where does he go? Wing back. And apparently there was a massive disagreement on Friday with the recruitment team, and it ended with Amorim wanting to buy players for now to fix the team now, but the recruitment team saying, yeah, but we're buying long term.
Mm.
So if you're already in dispute about where you're going, who you're buying, for what reason, yeah, it's too many cooks, unfortunately, and
Mm.
not enough broth.
Well, yeah, and with United over the last few years, at say Arsenal, City, Liverpool, they all have a way of playing. The whole world can see this, but at United, it's still like really, I mean, since Fergie left, they haven't really sort of been able to clearly define what they're trying to do out there in terms of the way they play. They've had a lot of coaches, some truly great coaches as well. You know, there was Louis van Gaal, Jose. So these are people who are highly successful, but United still haven't got that system in place which says this is our DNA, this is how we do things, which was so clearly defined under Fergie for so many years.
A lot of the things those managers have complained about as well are still going on. All those managers can't be wrong. So you are looking at the ownership, how they're running the club.
Mm.
It's also becoming a bit of a daft situation as well. I mean, you're effectively turning into compensation central right now. Uh, I mean, they're going to get rid of a manager after they won the FA Cup, then they offered an extension, then they get rid, compensation. They had to get compensation for Amorim in the first place. It's just ongoing, and yeah, the it's a self-repeating cycle.
Mm.
Only a period of stability is going to get them out of it, or a change of ownership.
Mm.
But I don't think that's on the cards. So
Mm.
big pressure on who comes in as the next permanent boss.
Hmm. Yeah. And on the subject of compensation, these days clubs have to think about FFP as well. So that sort of feeds into the pot as you were. Well, I mean, sort of, I mean, in terms of the points for FFP, the levels which sort of clubs must adhere to, how much they pay out in compensation must be thought about. So I know this has happened early in January. Perhaps this is to do with a terminus contract. So if there's a certain amount of time left, um, they will have to pay less, and they've just gone for it now. And perhaps this has been planned for a while, but let's see. Let's see.
Yeah, it's a tough position. Once you've gone up against the people above you, you are asking the question. You're effectively going, are you going to back me or are you going to sack me? And on this occasion, they've gone with the sack. They couldn't deal with being questioned,
Yeah,
which will make Maresca an interesting choice because Maresca's literally gone for doing the same thing at Chelsea. So
yeah, yeah.
what the clubs want? Are they wanting strong, independent-minded managers that know what they want and they know how they're going to get it? Or are they just wanting a yes man to make up
Mm.
the latest organising committee?
Hmm.
It's yeah, some tough questions are going to get asked at Old Trafford,
Agreed.
and
Agreed.
it is going to be interesting to see how it
Mm.
develops.
Absolutely. But the next coach at United, let's wish them well, and let's wish the fans well, because at the end of the day, I mean, they have been a set of long-suffering fans for many years. So let's hope things pick up for United. And on that positive note, that's all we have time for today. Until the next time, keep the faith, and please do like and subscribe to our channels on various social media, and do get involved there if you are so inclined. We are back in the next 48 hours as there are many midweek matches in the middle of this week. So till the next time, until all are one.